Welcome to the Blade Job, where moments ago we were talking about Jason Mewes' penis.
We were.
Now we're going to start talking about wrestling. Wrestling. I am High Voltage Scott Parkins. With me, as always, is...
John Olin.
Joe Nolan.
And...
Jert
McGirt.
Jert McGirt.
It's me.
I do want to say, I want to start off by saying I've been playing enough Red Dead where I've walked into the convincence store and they say, how you doing? And I kind of tip my hat a little bit and go, evening.
Are you Cowboy JRT now?
Fucking nerd.
Cowboy
JRT?
I can be the next Stan Hansen. I just got to get a good lariat and we're good to go.
You could be the next JBL.
Aww.
You're going to beat up a guy with blue hair?
Yeah, just try to stay off Fox
he's
News.
fat?
Dude, I would not fuck with Meanie. Like, I feel like he'd kick the shit out of me.
Brian Heffron?
Anyone who full-time worked old school ECW is probably tougher than I am.
Seeing him at
No,
Starcast,
they are.
Seeing him at StarCast, he was like a giant teddy bear, but he also looked like he could go off at any moment.
Because he's not just like a big like dude. He's also like fairly tall. Like he's a big dude. Yeah. Like, I've also heard that he's just, like, a super nice guy, and that was the big heat on JBL, was that, you know, Blue Meanie may have said some stupid shit, but he's not a bad person.
No.
Like, what? And he didn't even fight back. He knew it was wrong what was happening, and he didn't fight back. He kayfabed it the entire way while JBL was fucking pummeling him. Like... You know, I mean, we've all, you know if you're getting busted open the hard way, you got hit. And you got hit fucking hard. And that was a really random thing to start the show off with.
So that was, we were like 30 seconds in, and we already got off topic.
But let's do this. Follow me at BladeJob JRT. Follow the show, which is also me, at The Blade Job Show on Twitter.
I have 2 Twitters.
I got 2 Twitters, motherfucker. But one of them is mainly like video games and pop culture shit.
Yeah.
And the other one's like me talking about wrestling all the time. Or just not talking about anything at all because I get distracted. Where can we follow you, Scott?
You can follow me at Blade Job Parkins.
Yeah.
And you can also hear my sweet, soothing voice on the MGB Wrestling Podcast.
November 7th?
November 7th.
That's my birthday.
That's when we record. So I'll be here on your birthday, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm off. So.
All right, cool. I'll be here. I think it comes out Thursdays or Fridays.
I don't know what his editing schedules.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because he edits it and he submits it to Visionary and they release it.
Yeah, I think they put it out on
I don't know.
Fridays.
It's weird. They have like a whole actual professional setup and we just have a fucking trash can that does our editing.
They do need to work on their Spotify. It's all one big one.
Spotify is garbage.
So is
we're not on Spotify. It doesn't matter. Hey,
Google
real quick. Where can we follow you, Joe
We
Nolan?
can follow John Olin at
Joe Nolan.
At John_Olin.
Joe Nolan. Gotcha.
Joe Olin.
Yeah. Twitter. So we did Twitter. So go to the Facebook page. Honestly. So like the Facebook. We're on Instagram too now. And it's cool. You know, we're still getting the swing of things. But, you know, I put up a couple of cool pictures from the shows that we've been to. And they're pretty awesome. And then download at iTunes, Google Play. You know where to get podcasts at this point.
Yeah, I mean.
iHeartRadio now. That's cool.
You're already listening to us on a podcast.
But maybe you'll find a different way to do it. Like, maybe you're like, oh, yeah, YouTube sounds pretty good, so you're going to subscribe, right? You're going to subscribe.
Or maybe you have a friend who's like, I only listen to podcasts that are on iHeartRadio. Now you can tell them Blade Job's on.
Now you can.
I'm going to cut Green Day for fucking Bruno Mars or some shit.
I love Bruno.
Probably a better choice.
Bruno
Mars.
Sammartino? Mm-mm.
That's where Bruno comes from in his name.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, but Sammartino is way better than Bruno Mars.
I don't know, man. Bruno Mars is pretty fucking
How many
good.
times has Bruno Mars held the WWF?
How many times did Bruno Sammartino sell out the Apollo? Just saying.
3.
And
how many times did fucking
like
Bruno
Michael
Mars sell out
Jackson.
Madison Square Garden?
A lot.
And not as many as Bruno Sammartino.
No.
So fuck off.
But he's also way younger. Give him time.
And way shorter. He makes me look super tall. He's like 5 foot.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, which was Halloween, spooky,
I went trick or fucking treating
with your kids,
and I got a shitload of candy, and it was
nice. Did you
wonderful.
bring some for me?
Dude,
No.
it's Saturday. You think I have fucking candy left?
No, but we could probably go to Price Chopper right now and get some candy for like $1.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mr. Joe Nolan and I'm going to keep saying it.
I know you are.
We went to, not together, because we barely even saw each other there, Beyond Wrestling. It's live. Spooky.
It was a werewolf bar mitzvah.
I was just going to say that.
It was a hell of a show. As Beyond Wrestling,
know so much about werewolves?
As Beyond Wrestling usually does, this was a great show. I loved it. I would say it's not Beyond's best show, but
that's because I wasn't there.
But that's the thing is Beyond's worst show is still better than 90% of the other wrestling out there.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that other wrestling in a moment.
It's just so good. I mean, for me, I think we agreed with this before the show. The match of the night was Josh Briggs and Luchasaurus, because that was just like, you see two dudes who are pushing 7 feet moving like that, both of them, and it's just it's just nuts.
I also really liked Matt Cross and Statlander.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
I still haven't seen Matt Cross wrestle live, and it fucking bothers me.
This is only my second time.
It bothers me.
He was wearing trunks instead of pants, which was weird to me because I feel like he usually wears pants.
He usually wears trunks for All In too, I think.
Did he?
Yeah. But he does usually wear pants.
Yeah, because when I saw him at he was wearing. Anyways, and Statlander's she's so good because she's entertaining while also being really, really talented.
Yeah.
She has that silly character.
Yeah.
They
did this whole bit where Cross did his Superman or superhero landing.
Yeah.
And then Chris was just kind of like, so she just kind of like kneeled down on the ring and mimicked him, and then she started copying everything he did, and he was like, "Stop doing that! Stop doing what?
Stop copying me!"
And they stood up at the same time.
Chris Allen is copying me.
They did like handstands together. It was really good, and then they put on a hell of a match. Like they really did. I think she is one of the more talented, I'd say, gimmick characters out there right now. In general, she's one of the more talented wrestlers out there. But, she's been able to take a kind of a silly gimmick and really run with it.
It's an incredibly silly gimmick.
She gave Stephen Dumang a wet willy. Like, it was just like, he
sold it so well.
She's got this, like, almost like, I don't know if this is offensive or not, but she's got this, like, adorableness to her. Like, it's like, oh, look at that. That's so cute. But then she fucking, punches you in the face, and you're like, all right, cool.
I bought a shirt from her on Wednesday.
Nice.
And she was like, she wouldn't really talk. She just, like, stood there and, like, stared at you. And so I pointed to the shirt, like, told her the size I wanted and everything. And then I took out my money, and it was in complete disarray. And I was like, pretend this money is in order. And then I got the shirt, and she was like, your money is in such impeccable order. Like, I've never seen anybody with, like, all their money in such a great order. And I was like, I love that you didn't say anything at all, and then you just completely went with my quick joke that you
She seems like someone I'd want to hang out with and just, like, shoot the shit and just, like, banter with. Like, back and forth riffing. Like, I feel like she's got this really, like, natural comedic timing to her.
Yeah, quick wit.
And I think that's great.
And I remember seeing her against John Silver, which that match was freaking incredible.
He's fucking jacked.
He is fucking jacked.
Yeah. I love that he came out to Kid Rock.
I really like John Silver. He's
unfortunately we got Beaver Boys, and I know your feelings on
I don't like
Reynolds.
Alex Reynolds. He's not
Reynolds.
Don't worry, the crowd didn't either.
No, nobody does it. It's just like.
And actually, when they came out, John Silver came out dressed up as Kid Rock. They came out to Kid Rock, and he came out, did his whole entrance. He had like a Guitar Hero guitar, and then Alex just came up afterwards.
He's not dressed. He's in his
just a complete fucking boner.
Yeah.
So we also got the Zombie Princess, Jimmy Jacobs, which I had to explain to people I showed the picture to that this was not his Halloween costume. This is how he wrestles.
Yeah.
This is what he looks like against the what is it? The nasty Nana,
the naughty Nana,
the naughty Nana, Christina Dickinson. And he's dressed as an old lady.
It's like a Santina.
He wore a dress and an old lady.
It was absolutely. Yeah. They spend a lot of time dancing and like parading around and putting each other under their skirts / tutus. It was very bizarre, but very good, very fun. I mean, once again, Jimmy Jacobs is a legend of independent wrestling at this point. Chris Dickinson is a guy who, like,
hits people very stiffly.
There was a couple times that I saw Jimmy Jacobs like audibly make noises like Jesus, like when he got hit and he hit the ground, he'd be like Jesus, like he knew. Like
at one point, I could hear him say something along the lines of like "Stop hitting me."
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, I mean, we know that Dickinson is a stiff worker, but he's not a dangerous stiff worker.
Exactly.
People have given him flack. I remember there was a lot of flack when he like demolished, what was it, Candice LeRae with the chair shot, or was it Kimberly?
Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly.
Yeah. Oh, he fucking
And then he
ruined
Pazuzu
Kimberly.
bombed her an
Yeah.
inch away from the turnbuckle, and people were like, "He's such a dangerous worker. How dare you hit a woman with a chair?" It's like, she's a wrestler. That's
Yeah.
actually her gimmick.
Yeah.
Is,
That's her
I'm a
job.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have a penis doesn't make me less of a wrestler. Kimberly, to me, is still... I've seen her wrestle Keith Lee. I've seen her wrestle Josh Briggs. And both of those dudes outweigh her by minimum 150 pounds and probably 2 feet.
Yep.
You know, like...
I think that Dickinson is stiff and definitely hard, but I think he knows the other person's limit. I did that on purpose.
He's stiff and hard.
I did that on purpose.
I just...
Dickinson. Hard. Penis.
Stiff.
You guys keeping up.
Dirty Daddy.
Remember the
Dirty
90s where
Daddy.
stiffy was like an actual vernacular
Yeah.
for a boner?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
I do remember that.
Wow, we went off the
Yeah.
rails.
But
That's
no, I
okay.
think he knows the other person's limit, and he
Yeah.
just pushes him to it. I
Yeah.
don't think he does
right
anything.
to the limit, but with
Exactly.
that, because I've seen a lot of his matches. I've never seen anyone call for the ref for injury or anything
No.
with him. You know, he may be stiff, but he's not hurting people, and that's, at the end of the day, that's a sign of a good wrestler. Is
Yeah.
you know, your opponent's got to trust you, and I think a lot of, you know, stiff and hard workers,
Wieners.
they end up, no one wants to work with them. Case in point, like Ryback.
Right. And you never
No,
see...
Ryback was just a bad wrestler.
No, he was also very stiff. Like CM Punk talks about it a lot in the Colt Cabana podcast, where he actually called the shot. It was supposed to be a power bomb onto a table, and I think it was a power bomb. And he said that the only thing he said before the spot was "Don't drop me," and fucking Ryback misses the table completely and just plants him on the concrete.
Yeah, because he wasn't a good wrestler.
Right.
And I don't understand how he's still getting indie bookings. Like,
Because he's the big guy.
Yeah.
feed.
He
him
unblocked me on Twitter.
more. Who cares?
I don't know why, but he did.
I think I just unfollowed him on Twitter.
I
I don't
never
follow him anymore.
I was just like,
All he
wait,
does is
like-
pitch his fucking
Yeah.
like
Well, that's what
weightlifting
happened.
powder or whatever it was.
Wade Barrett posted something about his powder. I went on to the thing and I was blocked, and I was like, wait a minute. But the only thing that someone made fun of him and I liked it, so he must have blocked the person that made fun of him and then everybody that liked the tweet.
Yeah, fuck him.
All right, so Beyond, it was a great show. We had
I heard Tommaso Ciampa was there.
yeah, I dressed up as Tommaso Ciampa. It was fun.
It was pretty cool.
We the main event was actually, I think, one of their tamer death matches they've ever had. It was Nick Gage and G Raver.
Except for the fact that he got dropped. G Raver got dropped on tax like 13 times.
Yeah, so
But it very much felt like a party match more than it was a death
so
match.
so there was two spots that made me go, Jesus Christ.
It's more of a party match than a death match. Hold on.
Well, it was like everybody was involved.
Yeah. Flipped over a trash can, so it was like, upside down. Put a chair on top of it, covered the chair in thumbtacks, chokeslam off the top rope. That was brutal.
And only the side, like he hit it and it just dented the side of the trash
Yeah,
can.
it was brutal. And the finish of the match was Nick Gage pile driving him onto thumbtacks like 4 or 5 times. His entire head was covered in thumbtacks.
It was my Halloween costume.
Nick Gage
I got
also-
a silver helmet.
He also picked up the trash can and beat the shit out of
Yeah.
him in the corner with it. Like you heard it echo throughout the room. It wasn't like it was like on the back. It was like over
It
his
wasn't
head.
like dunk, it was crunch.
Yeah, until the trash can was just like
It was flattened.
Yeah.
It was actually flat. It was a great match. Really fun. I thought one thing I really, really loved about this show is a lot of the performers, the Beyond mainstays, they showed respect for the people they had coming in. So like Dickinson made sure to grab the mic after his match with Jacobs and say, like, you guys don't understand. This is Jimmy fucking Jacobs. Like, this guy is a fucking legend. And Nick Gage completely broke the MDK character at the end. He's like, G Raver, you're fucking awesome. Like,
Happy Halloween.
it was a really fun show.
I love how happy Nick Gage is that people like him. It's so endearing. Like you can tell he just wants to have a normal life and like he's just doing it.
Well, I mean, he's a deathmatch wrestler, so he can't really have like a normal.
Well, no,
life.
but I think he wants people to know like he's a good guy.
But it's
Yeah.
also funny because, like,
dude,
as a
sometimes you have
deathmatch wrestler, he, like, when you see him in the ring with someone, like, he's he's a fairly safe work. Like he doesn't he's not stiff. He's he can wrestle. Like I hate this idea that deathmatch wrestlers can't wrestle.
No.
Like they really. I mean,
him and Ricky Shane Page are some of the best wrestlers I've ever seen.
Look at Tremont when he had his feud with Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Like Matt Riddle is a very talented technical wrestler, and Tremont could pace him every time.
Speaking of which,
Side note, NXT.
yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
I've only
he's
seen the GIFs.
Great,
Dude, I
armbar?
just watched that just that one match, and Riddle has it.
Yeah.
And the crowd was behind him. Like they started playing his music.
I
and
love his
it
new
was
music.
just bro chance. Fucking.
Riddle is one of those guys
so good.
who, like, he took to the
He was
business.
born for it.
Like, this is what he was meant to do. Like, UFC was merely a roadblock on the way to what would make him great.
He does this armbar spot where he like grabs the guy's arms, flips over him, and then he's on his back, and he picks the guy up with his feet, and then separates his feet and rotates the guy and turns it into an armbar before he hits the ground.
It's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah, no,
like
Riddle's just there's so much talent in that guy. I remember seeing him for the first time and just being like, "Who the fuck is it?" When he was with Chuck O'Neal,
Yeah.
like back in the day, and I was kind of like,
I didn't like him the first time I saw him.
The only
I didn't
thing
like
I'm
him
worried
at all.
about
grew
with
on
him,
me super quick.
Oh yeah.
his promos, I think, need to get better, but I think that's why they're putting him with Keith Lee. I think that's why he has the friendship in the back with Keith Lee so much.
Keith Lee's a master at promos.
Yeah,
so.
he's pretty good.
And I think that's why they're going to be... I think Limitless Bro is going to be a sweet tag team if that's what happens.
I mean, we got to have a Dusty Classic coming up in the next 6 months or so. So
Yeah, and they'll clean house.
Dude, they would.
Just because he cut one promo in the
Yeah.
back, and I was like, Vince, if Vince sees this, he's going to hate it. Like...
Allegedly, Vince has never seen
Exactly,
NXT.
exactly. But I was thinking big picture. Like, if he doesn't get better at this is what's going to hold him back.
Yeah, Matt Riddle, just his in-ring work, though, it's one of those things where if you put him with a mouthpiece,
Yeah.
the fucking sky's the limit.
And his promos when he's angry are amazing.
Yeah.
But when he's like the laid back cool dude, it's too laid back.
Throwing it out there because they love to do it. You get a former MMA fighter, main roster Riddle, put him with Heyman. Here's the reason why. Heyman is such a straight-laced, shooter, and Riddle's like, "Hey, bro, hey," and it would be the dynamic between like him be like, "Ha," and Paul Heyman just be like, "Shut up."
I picture
Shut
him
up.
stopping Heyman just to start a bro chant. Like,
Hold on a second, bro.
yeah.
And Heyman just going, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
that would be awesome.
Because I've never watched TNA or anything like that. Has there ever been Joe versus Riddle? Because I think that would be incredible.
Riddle, I don't think, was in TNA.
I didn't know if Joe also did indie stuff at that time.
He did.
Oh, Samoan Joseph, yes.
But I think he at the time that Riddle, because Riddle's only been in the business for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think at the time, Joe was under his last exclusive Ring of Honor contract.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure after he left TNA, went back to Ring of Honor, and then went to WWE.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Anyways, Beyond Wrestling, always awesome. Matt Riddle, awesome. It's just
Always awesome.
super happy that he's getting the nationwide spot now. Because I mean, love or hate WWE, NXT, whatever you want to call it. Like at the end of the day, that's where they want to be. That's where they want to go, because that's where the real, I get to perform. I get the opportunity to maybe perform in front of 100,000 people at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Like that's what they grew up watching. That's what they want to do. It just makes sense.
These are 2 Electric K shows that have sold out in a row now.
Good.
Good for them.
The nice thing, like, Drew looks happy. Like, it's so nice to go to a show and
That's
Drew
very
doesn't look
good.
miserable the whole time.
I hugged him
Did he hug you
because
back?
Rachel told me to on Twitter, and I said, "I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry." And I went up to him. He was walking by me. I'm like, "Drew, I'm sorry, but she told me to." And he just kind of held his arms up, going, and I gave him a hug. It was super awkward, and it was super funny to me because I'm a fucking weirdo. All right, so I am going to break my silence on something that I'm still not going to mention by name, but a certain show.
It's Satanism. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail yourself.
I'm going to. I want to say one thing about a show that happened in a foreign country under the WWE banner.
NXT UK was pretty cool.
It was,
So-
but this is a different one. This is in a more
Danny
sandy,
Burch, baby.
sandy area. You know, they wear the things on their head. I
Tribute
forget
to
what
the
they call 'em.
troops.
Yeah, sure.
Why don't they just do that instead? No.
Oh, you're talking about the place that's east of Britain. Okay.
Yeah.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
East Britain. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's yeah,
France?
yeah,
Something
French.
like that, yeah.
French.
Might as well be.
Denmark?
So
I'm sorry
I
to our French
understand people's
fuck you.
willingness or feeling that they need to, you know, boycott the show and not support it. And you know what? You do you. Like, at the end of the day, you do whatever you want to do. But there's something that's bothering me, is the issues that people have are with the government of said country. That's their issue. The government did fucked up things, like, you know, things that you shouldn't do at all, ever.
Which we're not condoning by talking about this.
No.
We're just talking.
That's why I'm not even bringing up. I'm not saying
Yep.
the name of the event. We all know what I'm talking about. We all know the country I'm talking about, but I'm not even going to say it because whatever. But this show was not just for that government. This show was also for thousands of fans, regular people like you or me, that just unfortunately happen to live in a country that does some, you know, really messed up things. But who are we to say that they, little 10-year-olds and 15-year-olds who have literally only ever had one WWE show ever, who's to say they don't deserve to see this?
Right, they didn't get to see the last one. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
Oh, right. I was trying to think of the name of the last one.
yeah, it's just like we have to
pretty
think
great.
that as a fan, like, I think, you know, because people like to lump the people of a country in with their government, and that's not fair, because if it happened to us, I mean, look who's running our government right now, you know.
And we do it here too.
Lizard
we
people.
no, and that's and honestly, I don't
Lizard
think people
people run the
understand
government.
that that's, guess what, you know,
firmly believe
if you
that.
do that, you know, that is a form of racism.
Yeah.
You're saying, well, you have the same skin color as the people who run your government, so you must be evil too. No, these are just regular people.
It's not
who-
racism. I'll think of the word. Hold on.
Bigotry. No,
just keep going. Keep
anyways,
going. It's gonna
Just
take
because
me a
you
while.
voted Republican doesn't mean that you believe everything that the Republicans believe.
exactly.
Fact.
It's just like, you know, we need to understand that we keep people, Twitter, WWE, wrestling community in general keeps promoting this. Wrestling is for
Xenophobia. It's
There
called
it is.
xenophobia.
Thank you. Wrestling is for
Aliens.
everybody. That's what we keep saying, right? That's what all the shirts are saying now.
Yeah.
Then why isn't wrestling for them?
Right.
That's what's bothering me. I do not condone this show. I do not condone this government. I do not condone any of it. I have a certain moral standpoint. But at the same time, to say that these people don't deserve wrestling because of who runs their country is wrong to me. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to say any more about it. I just think that we have to think about the average, you know, the average Joe, you know, who just wanted to see fucking, you know, The Undertaker.
And they might have to sit a mile away from the ring, but at least
They got to see it. They got to be there. They got to say, "I was there, man. That was cool."
I saw the pyro. I heard the music. You know.
You got
Yeah.
that experience that we kind of take for granted now, because we can go to WWE shows twice a year
At least.
anywhere in the country.
They're already coming back around.
Right, and they were here like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, we do take it for granted. We live in the area where we get to see the third largest YouTube subscriber professional wrestling organization in Beyond Wrestling. They're the third most subscribers.
Who's two and who's
Impact
one and two?
and
WWE and Impact.
Oh, okay.
They
I
are
thought you meant like
third.
independent.
No, they are
no.
third behind WWE and Impact.
Yeah, I mean they should be because
Yeah.
How insane is that? though?
it is nuts. Like
To me, that says they're the third biggest wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
for those of you who
Forget Evolve.
don't know and have never seen a Beyond Wrestling show at Electric Haze in Worcester, it's a small shitty bar. Like like, and they just throw a fucking ring in the middle of the floor.
And if you haven't seen it, go on their YouTube to celebrate 1 million. Now I'm just giving free promotion.
It doesn't matter.
Go on YouTube to celebrate 1 million subscribers. They have released American Rana 18, which was a fantastic show.
Oh, it was
Their
a banger.
version of WrestleMania.
Headlined by Joey Janela and David Starr, no rope, barbed wire, and they have thrown that entire event on YouTube for free.
And that was,
You
I
can
don't even
watch
think that was the best match of the night.
And that show
Like-
was fucking phenomenal. And once you're done watching that, subscribe to Powerbomb. Do whatever you have to. Watch American Rana 17, which
Use
had
promo code BEYOND and get 20
oh
days
shut
free.
the fuck up.
What was the
Just saying.
What was the dud match of America? I'm trying to like. I don't really think.
PCO.
Yeah.
I don't like
Everybody
him.
was winded at that point, though.
I just don't like
Yeah,
it.
that was the
But
wrong spot for that match.
when you're done watching 18, find a way, go on Powerbomb, do whatever, and watch American Rana 17. That had the best match I've ever seen live when EYFBO, the team known as LAX now,
yes.
against the Lucha Bros, and it was the best professional wrestling match I have
Super
ever seen.
stiff, crazy stiff that match.
But high spots,
Oh
high
my
flying.
God.
People threw money in the ring afterwards.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Go watch that shit. It's amazing. So,
Speaking of PCO, the one thing I did like about that match on Wednesday is he did a moonsault onto MJF through a table.
I have a video of it. I can show you. I can show you.
I saw that match and I was like, that sucks for MJF.
I took a friend who had never seen most of them before. He
Yeah.
went because he loves Joey Ryan and he had never seen Joey Ryan live. And I was like, "You're coming."
He's got a penis. blow
MJF
up.
flipped him off for no reason, and for the rest of the match, he was just shit talking MJF.
MJF he's very good at what he does, just being that dick. But I like Electric Haze. That was Tom Collins took me to my first Beyond show there, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, it's a bar, and you know the ceiling's not quite high enough," and I was just like, "All right, you know this might be okay." And then it was just like after a couple minutes, it was like, "Holy shit, this is fucking quality!" Like,
Yeah,
this is
I
not-
remember that night, and I remember you just like you were wide eyed.
Yeah,
like
it-
this little kid. Like
It-
that was the moment I feel that I watched you fall in love with wrestling again. Like
Yeah.
not just like
Oh,
I'm
no.
watching it. Like that was the moment you
No,
went.
it absolutely was because it was like I had seen indie shows before, but it was like, oh, here's this dick in fucking like basketball shorts because he's so green he doesn't have tights. And, like,
Beyond's not even like an indie organization. They're just a pro wrestling organization. Like they don't even fall under indie anymore because they just do their own goddamn thing. And they
it's
are independent in the
super
sense
good.
of
I can't
they
wait to
do
find
it.
out what the thank you for selling out so many shows. We're gonna give you something good at tournament for tomorrow. Did you see that?
I did, and TFT this year, especially because it's tag team, makes me so happy.
makes me
Yep.
so
I love tag team.
wet.
And it's gonna be in Hayes.
Because who won last year? Yuta?
Yuta.
Yeah,
Yuta and Jordan.
That was the Yuta AC stuff.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, I'm assuming we're gonna see Doom Patrol,
Beaver Boys are in it again.
Beaver Boys.
Lawless and Verna.
Yep.
I like Verna.
Are we gonna see Dan
Vernon's
Barry face turn number 62 and he's gonna reteam
Hopefully.
with Bill Carr?
I don't think they're on it. There was some tag team that I'd never seen
I
before.
hope you know that Bill Carr fucks.
Oh, dude. Also, side note, David Starr tag match at It's Alive.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
His secret, his special partner
Yes.
was Brandon Watts because Brandon Watts was banned from Beyond, so he has him like attack them from behind and then like announces. Who
And
his
then
partner
the
is.
mic wasn't on, so his promo was off, and it was hysterical.
And he was pissed.
It was great, but I mean, it was so you had David Starr, you had Brandon Watts, you had Tracy Williams, and you had Wheeler Yuta in the ring at the same time. Tornado rules, and it was. I mean, what
Dope.
Yeah.
that was like their what is that opening?
That was the opening
Yeah,
match.
that was the first match
Yeah,
of the
because
night.
David had to go to Ireland.
Yeah. 10 hours later, he's like posting getting breakfast in Ireland. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's an hour to the airport, then you got to do all the shit at the airport, then you have to fly across
Dude,
an ocean.
he might
man.
be the hardest working man in pro
He's-
wrestling.
He is up there.
He's super young and he's ridiculous because he's not a deathmatch wrestler, but he's not afraid to do it.
right.
Right.
He's great technical. He's the best on the mic in Beyond.
Did you
period.
see who he's wrestling at Rev Pro?
No.
It's him versus Ishii, champion versus champion.
Ooh.
And he's been the whole gimmick has been I'm your daddy.
Is he my daddy?
I mean, I think David Starr's everybody's daddy.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I'm older than him, so
Yeah, we're all older than
everyone in this room right now is older than David Starr. Anywho, so back to the positives. So
back to WWE,
last week,
but a good positive.
WWE put on. I'm sorry, but what Twitter is calling a glorified house show. No, this was one of the best pay-per-views WWE's
Who the
put
fuck
on.
called it a glorified house
So many
Everyone.
people.
Well, give me their names and I'll go fight them.
And you know what? It was a glorified house show in the sense that they did a minimalistic setup. They had metal barricades. They had a dark room. They had a simple entrance. They had it so it was focused on wrestling,
Yep.
not on bells and whistles. WWE stages now suck. Their entry ramps are garbage for
all the
both
same.
brands.
It's all the
Yeah.
same.
But this felt raw. It felt real. It felt like a wrestling show. You know what it was? It was a WWE branded show run by Stephanie McMahon, where you can tell that when she had questions of what she should do, she talked to the master of creating a new brand out of nothing, Triple H, and they came together, husband and wife, which in my opinion is actually a really kind of weirdly beautiful thing. They came together and they put on a hell of a show.
It makes me so excited for what's to come.
I know they use the NXT like crew. Like all the people there were NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
That's the
Which
thing.
is super cool because that's like
I've heard that Vince had zero
Input.
hope that it would do well. So he just, he said, Stephanie, this is your thing now. And obviously she's obviously been in the business for so many years, but she's never done this by herself. And having Triple H, who also had never done this by himself, who started doing it by himself and created a global phenomenon. Literally, we have multiple NXTs now.
it's international, bitches.
Yeah.
And I loved the audio was like, it wasn't regular. It was like 90s style. Like you could hear the echo in the arena.
I love how poorly that their sound guys were at the very beginning, where you can kind of hear Michael Cole in the background doing like the "Welcome to Evolution," and you hear like, "Your mic's not working."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Yep, there we go." Good old. But that reminded me of once again old school '90s Raws where they were terrible with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How many times did you hear them talking into hot mics?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what that happened at I think the last Takeover. They were like, someone was just talking. It was like Morrow was just talking, and you could hear everything, and so it was just like, yeah, we got a hot mic, and I'm just like, the fuck are we doing? You are a multi-billion-dollar company, and what the fuck?
Get your shit together.
But I like that. I like the rawness
Yeah.
of it.
America, if you're listening, we have a job opening.
I honestly, speaking of Michael Cole, I liked 1/3 of that commentary team, and that was Renee Young. I think Beth Phoenix, it's unfortunate that she can't really wrestle anymore because they put her as a commentator because she can talk. She's just not very good at commentating, and but they want to give her something to do.
Yeah.
I think
And
Michael Cole, I will give credit for, because his job
is to keep it going.
was to keep it going.
Yeah.
And he did a good job at that. He kept Renee, because Renee has the tendency where she'll say something and then she stops and then she waits. And he's the one who's like, oh my, did you see that, Renee? Like,
Yeah.
And it's nothing against Renee. It's just that she's been doing this for 3 months. Cole's been doing this for 15 years.
20
with
something
someone
years.
talking in her ear.
Yeah. And Renee Young is going to be a fantastic commentator. She needs to learn.
Yeah.
She's still learning. I think she has so much potential. I do not hate her. She's way better than Byron.
She did commentary in NXT.
She did.
Like way back.
But she also had one of the best in the game running her through it, because she had Morrow.
Yeah.
Who Morrow could commentate a fucking pillow fight between like 2 6-year-olds and make it sound amazing.
Well, I
It
mean,
would be
Michael Cole
amazing.
has commentated a pillow fight between two 26-year-olds.
I mean, if they let them be that old back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do think it would have been. I think they would have been more relaxed if it was Corey, but I get why it was Michael.
Because
Yeah.
I know Renee and Corey go way back.
Yeah.
And
I think Renee and Corey Graves, like if they went to a 2-man and that was the 2-man for Raw,
I think they'd be fine.
that would
I
be
think
awesome.
they need to go to 2-man. Like, I think that SmackDown should be Tom Phillips and Corey Graves, and Raw should be Corey Graves and Renee in a couple of months when she's ready.
Yeah.
Like, because I think right now, like, the fact that you have Michael Cole and Corey Graves, and they're essentially teaching her, but they're teaching her on the job. They're not, like, you can't do this backstage. Like, you need to, I mean, I'm sure she's watched videos and, like, Raw video and done commentary for them to practice and stuff like that. Yeah. She's, the first day she was permanent Raw commentary compared to, like, say, last week, she has come leaps and bounds. Because the first day, everyone was like, you know, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's like, I agree. The equality of it is fantastic. She deserves it. She's not quite there yet, but she will be.
Yeah.
And I think she's come such a long way. But I think Evolution was also, like, really emotional for a lot of the women because it was like, finally, we get this. And I think that made it a lot more pressure on her, and that was tough. Anyone would have been in the same situation. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. This is a historic event, and you have to perform.
Also, whether I would have done it intentionally or not, if I was in Renee's position, I think knowing that Beth Phoenix was there, someone that's been in the ring, I think I maybe would have been a little quieter, like thinking that they were going to have more insight, which Beth did but didn't at the same time.
Beth did not.
Beth was... She was fine for a non-commentator, and if she was doing one match, it would have been great.
That's what I do think. I do think that if Corey was there, it would have been more relaxed in the term of Michael kept cutting them off to keep it going, which is fine. But I think after a while, they just decided, like, I'm only going to talk when there's dead silence because otherwise I'm going to get cut off.
I think that what they should have done is have the announce team be Michael Cole and Renee Young, and then for important matches have a rotating cast of female legends coming in to do guest commentary.
I was surprised Paige didn't do guest commentary for anything.
Yeah, because she's actually really good. I think she would be a great... when they move past her being GM storyline, I think commentary would be a great position for her because she really does... Like, she never shuts up. Yeah. Like, she just goes, and she's got such an intimate knowledge of the business. You know, she's literally grown up in the business. Yeah. She really does get it. And she has, like, you hear when she has done guest commentary, she commentates like Morrow does, where she knows she knows technical names for moves. She tries to give a genuine reaction when something crazy happens.
And then just throws in shitty hip-hop references every once in a while.
Word.
Did you hear NXT start the Mamma Mia chant the other day?
No.
Mamma Mia.
I forget what match it was, but something happened, and they started chanting Mamma Mia.
So, all right, so let's actually talk about Evolution. I thought this show, for the most part, there were one or two duds for me. But for the most part, this was a solid card from top to bottom.
It was. It was, like... I don't think there was dud matches. There was missed spots.
Okay, I'm sorry, not dud matches. Poor placement of matches. Certain matches, I really think the last two matches should have been reversed. I think Becky and Charlotte should have main evented. And that's the thing that I hate with WWE pay-per-views a lot of the time is they end on these just like kind of like meh matches. Yeah. And it takes like the excitement. Where if we had ended with Becky and Charlotte, you're coming out of that pay-per-view hyped up because you're like, holy shit, did you see that?
Right.
That was great.
Right. A Nikki Bella match, you're like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Ronda is still learning. She's still growing as a wrestler. I've said it before, I'll say it again. She's gonna get there. Nikki has ring rust right now. You can't have someone who like is just starting to wrestle in a match with someone who hasn't really wrestled full time in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're just the whole double armbar thing is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. I really hate it. I really think that's a horror. Like, you're pointing out Ronda's flaws, I feel, with her moveset. You're pointing out like how she's a one-trick pony. And I don't think that's the right way to book her. I think you need to show her like kind of like they did with Lesnar when he came back. You need to show that she's a fighter. She's a brawler, you know, but she's also a technical wizard. But she only really does one submission, and it's poorly done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you actually do this submission to make people tap out for real.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it wasn't the only double that night.
It's just
Oh, the
it's,
double sharpshooter, also dumb.
I like it. I like it when it's done right.
Natalia is, I still say, is one of the unsung heroes of the women's division in WWE.
Yes.
Because maybe she doesn't always perform to what she's capable of in the ring. She is the locker room leader of the women's because everyone respects her. And it's not because of her name. It has nothing to do with her name. It has everything to do with the fact that she would die for that business.
Yeah.
Because it's literally in her blood. Every member of her family is a pro wrestler.
I know that Tyson can't go anymore, but those two together would have been incredible if they'd
in the
done
mixed
intergender.
match.
Yes. Yeah.
I am like, it still kind of crushes me that Tyson Kidd can't wrestle anymore because he, once again, someone who loved the business and someone who was so talented, and he was just getting started.
Him and Cesaro were incredible together.
You know, like, and that's just, but I mean, you know what? It's the nature of the business. Sometimes, you know.
If you had brought up, I mean, I know they kind of put Big Show with them, but if you had brought up Cassius Ohno and it was
put him with the
Tyson,
Bar.
Kidd, and Cassius Ohno,
Yeah.
that would have been amazing. It would have been a better trio than the Bar and Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I loved, I agree. I love Tyson and Cesaro. But we're talking about the ladies right now.
Hey,
Ladies.
This is a special message to all the ladies out there.
How you doing?
So, you know, Evolution had a couple, like, just gimmicky matches. Obviously, the opening contest with Mickey and Trish, or Trish and Lita versus Mickey and Alicia Fox could have been better. But once again, you got two women who have not wrestled in a long time.
Did you see the
But
match
they
on
both
Raw?
looked pretty good.
I didn't either. I didn't know if it was better than that.
I have
one.
no idea.
I think they looked pretty good for two women who don't.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the funny thing is, I'm watching this match and I'm like, Mickey's the ring general right now. She's the one who's running this match, and it made me kind of like sit back and go, "Wow, Mickey James is really good.
She is really
She's
good.
really,
She
really
is.
good."
She needs to get rid of those pants, but she's really good.
Yeah, the fucking bell bottoms. Well, she got rid of the pants. Now she just has the bell
Yeah.
bottoms. And
For a
like-
while, she had regular pants, and everything was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked all the pictures that Aldis posted. He's like for the, you know, I'm so happy to be able to, you know, point out and be like, you know, look at what mommy's doing
Exactly.
right now.
Yep.
Like, and I was like, I thought that was really cool that, you know, they essentially they took time to honor the wrestler husbands who were, you know, finally getting the chance of, they don't have to work that night. They get to sit back and they get to enjoy watching their significant others kick ass.
Yep.
And I thought it was really great. Like,
Mike Bennett.
yeah, showing Bennett at the Man Classic, showing Cedric Alexander.
Yep.
You know, all the, like, actually showing these guys, like, sitting back and being like, my chick's badass.
Yep.
Yeah,
Maurice and Miz sitting there front row.
that was cute. Why was
was
Maurice
horrible.
in the?
Well, we all know why Maurice wasn't in the ring.
Because she's awful.
I think she knows that she's not a good wrestler. She does it for the story.
Well, I mean, she probably
'Cause she's
learned
awful.
from The Miz, and he's awful,
Oh,
too.
my God,
So
here we
You
go.
know, who,
I said I wasn't going to get into it.
Well, we're not.
yeah, you're not.
You know
am.
who impressed me was Maria Kanellis.
She's so good.
She just had a baby. She looked fantastic, and she
Yeah.
worked very well.
Yep.
Like
she
she
always
had a baby
has.
like 5 fucking months ago, and just like to be able to get back into shape and to just like fucking
They're going to light shit up on 205 Live.
yeah.
Bennett
Miracle
and
Mike,
Kanellis are like the two company-wide unsung heroes
Yeah.
who have so much talent. Because, like, people think, like, oh, Kanellis hadn't been around for so many years because she left and blah. Her and Bennett worked every night on the indies.
Yeah.
They were, because, I mean, you know, they were working here. They were running a school in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
You know, before they re-signed, or before she re-signed and he signed, I saw Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis at every single indie show I went to.
I am fairly certain, and I've tried to look it up, but that shitty big time wrestling show I went to, I'm pretty sure that Mike Bennett was there and Maria Kanellis.
I guarantee, because it was.
I'm almost positive.
It was during the the top tag team in New England for years was the Kingdom.
Yeah.
It was Bennett and Taven.
I don't like Matt Taven.
And then Marseglia came in and they created this epic faction, and then everyone went to Ring of Honor and Bennett went to WWE. And it's great. Like, I'm so happy all these local guys got their shots. Like, it's awesome. But
I saw him respond to somebody on Twitter yesterday, and they asked him if he wished that he had started in NXT. And he's like, I'm on such a short list of guys who went straight to the main roster when they signed. He's like, I don't think that I don't take that for granted. Like, I know I'm so happy to be where I am.
Like, Mike Bennett's a guy, once again, he loves the business enough where he doesn't give a shit if he's wrestling on main event or at the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's wrestling.
You see it on Twitter all the time. People are like, oh, way to be, loser. It's like, dude, he's a WWE wrestler. Go fuck yourself.
Right.
Like,
yeah, what have you done lately?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. And I think that, like, him being on the main roster with what he had to go through, which all the power in the world to him,
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have been buried in NXT if he had come up, because they're moving talent up so quickly.
Especially because WWE especially has a huge thing of substance abuse, and they do not like it, and they will not sign people who have substance problems.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jeff Hardy.
Well, he was already signed. He has substance problems because they kept putting him on top of ladders and killing him.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Jeff, do this crazy shit.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me take some
Don't cause
Oxy
the
real
problem,
quick.
and then
But like, I don't even think, like, I've seen people say like, oh, he only got the job because of Maria. And it's like, no, that's not.
No, he's a
like,
good
go
wrestler.
and watch a Mike Bennett match, not a Mike Kanellis match. Go watch a Mike Bennett match. He's incredible.
Wait.
Yep.
He took her last name?
JBL.
him and Kurt Hawkins are two of my favorite wrestlers on WWE.
I love Kurt Hawkins, especially because like he was jobbing and then they turned it into a gimmick, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
He's got the longest streak in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're winning or losing. He's got the streak.
Dude, he's still taking a check home, and
He still gets to be a WWE superstar.
he still gets to eat catering.
When Brock was still champion, there was some girl on Twitter who continually posted how many days he had been champion without competing. And one time I asked, and I was like, can you just give us how many days it's been since Kurt Hawkins won a match? And she posted it, and he immediately commented and was like the thumb emoji, like thinking about it. Like, it's been so long.
I love Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, when they were the Major Brothers, was one of my favorite bits with Edge. Just like, it was like twin magic, but way funnier.
Yeah, and they have their own podcast now.
They do. It's all about wrestling
figures,
and that's awesome.
He runs Create a Pro?
Yes.
Kurt Hawkins?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Which is where what's her name goes?
Yes.
Where Statlander trained.
Yeah.
Tying it all back together.
Yeah. Back to the ladies.
Synergy.
So okay, I just want to get out of the way. Let's talk about
How good
Becky
Lita looked.
and Charlotte.
Let's do it.
Lita looked great.
Lita did look great. But Becky and Charlotte put on the match of the night, hands down. Now, I do want to say something that people are saying that it was the greatest women's match in WWE history. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like the matches, if we're saying main roster, yeah, probably the best match they've ever had. In WWE, though, I feel like
Sasha and Bayley
in NXT was they had such great matches. I would even say the last woman standing between Nikki and Asuka was up there. Not quite as good as this one, but it was definitely up there. I thought at the end of the day, though, I feel like they told such a great story in the ring. They did everything they wanted. They hit these just amazing spots. Like, they didn't do. I hate when they're like, oh, it's going to be a last man, last woman standing match, and there's like a kendo stick, or oh, no disqualification. There's a kendo stick and 2 chairs. That's it. And it's like, they destroyed the ringside area. Like, everything. There are ladders, there were chairs, there were tables.
I thought I was going to get my wish within the first 5 minutes, the way that Becky was just demolishing Charlotte in the beginning.
What do you think it was going to squash?
Remember when I was like, I want it, give me 5 minutes and just let me have her wipe her out? Like, within the first 5 minutes of her just beating her with the kendo stick, I was like, yes, here we go.
Becky Lynch is I think right now, the best women's wrestler in the world.
Yep.
I agree.
Did
Not
you see her?
PWI though. They don't agree.
I don't care.
But Skylar's on PWI 100.
Yeah,
she is.
Yeah, she's number 100.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for
I'm
her, man.
super happy.
Second year in a row, she said, right?
I
That's awesome.
love
Yeah.
her. I mean, like, you know,
Because she's super green, right? Like, she's
2
only
years.
yeah.
She
You know who else is on
she
there?
told me yesterday. 2
Who else
years.
is on
Despite everything, LuFisto,
Good.
which I wouldn't expect, but I was glad to see her on there.
Yeah.
She deserves it.
Yeah.
She's a hardworking bitch.
And everything she's gone through this year to
Yeah.
still make that list, I
yeah.
think says
She
a
didn't
lot.
wrestle for what, 3-4 months?
Yep.
She's very good at
Yeah.
it, though.
She's super good.
I wouldn't want to get hit by her.
Jordan Grace.
No.
Signing with Impact.
Yep.
Like,
That's
what the
awesome.
fuck? You know, like, wow,
I mean, I
what
hope
a
Jordan
time.
Grace still comes around.
Impact allows.
I know.
This is why we see Brian Cage all the time.
She said she only has she's filling out the rest of her obligations this year. I don't know what's going to happen after that.
I think that.
Because I don't want to never see
I
her
think
wrestle.
she's
Yeah.
going to be doing Impact, but I think she low-key has some offers from WWE right now.
Probably.
And she's not sure where she's going to end up. Maybe her and Gresh are going to go over to Japan for a while and just fucking run the train
I hope
out there.
that her and Gresham go somewhere together.
Adorable.
Because he's in Ring of Honor right now, and she's in.
He's a
she's
champion in
in
Ring of
Impact.
Honor, isn't he?
He's a champion without an exclusive Ring of Honor contract.
I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting.
I'm going to Ring of Honor this week, actually.
Good for you, Lewiston.
Lowell.
Oh,
The Lowell Memorial Auditorium.
been there. It's nice.
Yeah, it's where Shawn Michaels lost a smile.
And
where I
where
lost
Cody
my spot.
won the Ring of Honor
And
championship.
That's true.
That's also where Samoa Joe won the NXT championship. Wasn't
Yeah.
that Lowell?
Yeah.
Might have been.
Yep.
Against Finn Balor.
Yeah, where he beat him for it. Yeah,
That's
all.
all-
Which
Also-
I got offered a ticket to that, and I was like, "Oh, I can't go. It's just a house show, no big deal." And then my buddy texted me, he's like, "Dude, Samoa Joe just won the NXT championship." I'm like, "What the fuck,
I
man?"
forget what I was at for that. Would you like to hear the lineup for that?
No, not at all, because we're talking about Evolution.
I would after.
Okay.
After we can talk about that. Becky and Charlotte, like, Becky is. She's so good at what she does. I don't even know the way to explain it. She's running with the, like, a lot of times you get a heel who's still over with the crowd and they play it up like Kevin Owens,
Yes.
where he would kind of like play it up like, "I know I'm great. I'm glad you agree." But she doesn't give a fuck. She's like, "I don't fucking care if you cheer me or not. Whatever. Like, you're useless."
I'll cheer you, Becky Lynch.
It's like she's so good at what she's doing, and the fact that she's been open about when she found out she was turning heel, she studied the great heels to find, like, to look at what she wanted to do and how she wanted to be. That takes a lot. Like, you got to think of the hundreds of hours she watched to get ready for this heel turn. Like, it was so good, and she gets that like her angry face because she's such a beautiful woman and she's got a really, really cute features, but when she gets that angry look on her face and her lips become super tiny because she just pierces them together and she just looks mad.
Yep.
And it's so believable.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm such
super
a Becky
good.
Lynch
They
fan.
need to change her theme song though. I think she needs a heel theme song. I don't feel like her because her theme song's very like, "Dun," and she just walks out and holds up the belt, and I feel like
I love
It's probably coming.
the bitchin' guitar solo. Yeah, it's fucking
like
Trash
so
can. You can go ahead and edit that part out.
so the first the
just
first
put in the actual
opening
guitar
of
solo.
Evolution immediately made me feel NXT, where they had Lizzie Hale and Nikki what's her name
Oh yeah, with the band.
do the opening, because like that's the one thing I love about NXT is for their pay-per-views they still usually have the band who plays the theme song play the song at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because WWE used to do that, and I don't
Yeah, they
understand
had
why we
fucking
still
Motorhead
you know-
one time.
like 3 or 4 times.
You know why they don't do it anymore?
Still
Because it
is.
was Flow Rider for 3 WrestleManias in a row.
And nobody gave a fuck?
Exactly, yeah.
Welcome to my house.
Yeah.
I was like, can you just
Yeah.
fucking
You
stop?
can only watch you lip sync. For
I
so
was
long.
I went outside at WrestleMania 31 and smoked a cigarette during the Kid Ink Travis Barker.
Oh god, yeah.
I like Travis Barker.
I do
a
too.
lot.
I don't
do
like
too.
Kid Ink.
I don't know what Kitty.
I like
Exactly.
that Busta Rhymes and Travis Barker song.
That's pretty dope.
With,
Wait, what?
Oh, you've
Yeah.
never heard that?
Get
It's
the
pretty dope.
fuck out of
Oh,
here!
dude, I think
really?
it's with like Lil Jon or something like that.
Oh man.
I'll find it. We'll listen to it
Alright,
after.
go
Yeah.
do your thing.
So
You looking it up now?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I feel like
I think it's called Let's Go, but I could be wrong.
Let's go. I don't know. It felt very much like an NXT production, and
Yeah.
that is definitely not a shot at them. I actually think
No, well, they knew who was watching.
yeah, the presentation of that show made me like it actually made the show better for me. I love
Yeah.
that old school presentation. I really do because I feel like now with like you got the things on the turnbuckles, you've got these big fancy stages, you've got these like there's just so much shit at ringside. There's so much shit at the entry, like, and it kind of does take some of the focus away from I don't know, the two dudes or the two women or however many in the ring who are actually wrestling because you're looking at other shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I love NXT so much is because it is minimalistic. It's a dark room. You don't see the crowd. Like they darken the lights so you don't focus on the crowd.
Right.
Raw and SmackDown put spotlights on the crowd because like look at all the people here. Oh, they're holding up signs. Oh, they've got a beach ball. They're crazy.
I mean, Green Shirt Guy was there. But we did get that great Cesaro moment because of that.
It's
That's one of my favorite gifts of all time. Is him
You
just ripping
know-
up
Was that guy there?
the Green Shirt Guy was.
What was the green shirt guy?
It's always Green Shirt Guy. He wears a green shirt with a smiley face on it and a khaki hat, and then the long hair guy with his mom.
Was the long hair guy there?
I
Wrestler
didn't see
Jesus.
Yeah, I
him
didn't
with his
notice
mom.
him.
I didn't see him, but the Green Shirt Guy was front.
Well,
center.
no, but here's the thing. I wasn't paying attention to the crowd at all because they darkened most of it.
Oh, I usually just look for those two and then I'm done. Like outside of Cesaro ripping a beach ball, which was one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it, and it was great because I didn't pay attention to the crowd. It just I don't know. Like I feel like
No, that was a cool moment. Even the battle royal didn't suck.
no, it
No.
was fine.
Which usually battle royals
I
you're
didn't
like, this
like
is kind of fucking
the
lame.
Iconics getting eliminated right away.
I loved it.
But
yeah, I thought it was great
I
because
loved
you knew
it.
they weren't going to win.
They're
I wanted Peyton to win.
they're
I knew
like
she wasn't going to.
that like Vicky Guerrero annoying. Like
Yeah.
I think Billy Kay's voice is horrid.
Yeah.
And it's great because they're two annoying broads. That's their gimmick.
Yeah.
Like
And they're great at it. They are
Yes.
low key Edge and Christian.
Did you
From the
see?
beginning of Edge and Christian.
Did you see that someone on 2K19?
Oh,
They changed Paul
Brock
Heyman
and
and
Heyman.
Brock Lesnar's entrance to be the Iconics, so they
Yes.
hold each other's fingers and walk together, and
Yes.
it's fucking awesome.
I like they're a good tag team. I think that Peyton is head and shoulders above Billy Kay.
I agree.
But I
and they've been together since they were kids.
yeah. I
They're
think
actually BFFs, just like Edge and Christian,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
No, Edge and Christian are brothers, guys.
just like Kane and the Undertaker,
Absolutely.
and
the Dudleys.
Yeah, the Dudleys.
I mean, Edge and
well, no,
Christian-
the
yeah.
Dudleys make sense because they're brothers from different mothers. Because Big Dick Dudley went around the world wrestling and just banging chicks.
Yeah.
That's the story.
You got me there.
Yeah.
They were
I
born
believe
in
it.
Dudleyville,
Yeah.
Such a bully.
which is probably in New Jersey.
No, it's in Dudleyville.
Yeah.
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 Which wasn't that a Nickelodeon show with the little puppets?
Dudley?
Right?
No, that's Wienerville
Wienerville, that's right.
with Mark Wiener.
Yeah.
Wiener.
I love that show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
you get to pie your parents in the
So
face.
the battle royal, like two things about the battle royal. A, personally, I think Ember Moon should have won. I think Ember and
She's
Ronda
fantastic.
could have actually put on a good match. I feel like we've seen Nia Jax in this mixture of women a couple of times now, so it's like whatever. However, I loved seeing Nia Jax and Tamina, two cousins of the big dog, paying their respects with
Yep.
the ooh-ah right
Yep.
before the double clothesline. I thought that was really
Which
great.
apparently there's a feud coming in that.
Tamina and Nia.
Yeah, because Tamina came out after Nia's match on Raw and just stared her down and then left.
Tamina has to wrestle.
After Nia beat Ember.
But I think that Tamina and
Yeah, but we have to watch her wrestle.
I think if anyone can bring the best out of Tamina, it's Nia because
Yeah.
they can actually wrestle each other because they're both about the same size.
And if that move she did in Evolution is her new finisher, I am all for it.
yeah, I really like. I get it. You're the daughter of a Hall of Fame. Blah 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 blah. Be your own person. Like that's my biggest gripe with Charlotte is the figure eight. Like it's kind of stupid, but she has natural selection, which I think is a fun finisher.
Yep.
Same thing with Natalia doing the sharpshooter. We get it. You're a heart. That's fine.
They all did it though. It wasn't
I know.
just one of them did it. They all did it. That's their families.
Yeah.
That's like an heirloom.
Well,
Right.
My family's heirloom
I just-
submission hold.
but from Charlotte and Natalia's standpoint, they do those finishers well.
Yes.
Tamina does not do the splash well.
Which is why I hope that drop that she did
Yeah.
is the new one.
She's just not she's a top rope finisher because that's what
Yeah.
they probably told her to do
Jimmy
it too.
did.
Oh,
I-
yeah, wasn't her
yeah,
decision.
I don't think Tamina's that good of a wrestler.
I think she'd surprise us if given the opportunity.
She
She needs to identify what her wheelhouse is.
she had the look, but then Nia came along, and Nia has the look.
And she does look better, yeah.
She does the look so much better, and I think Nia's a better wrestler.
I agree.
And it's like
She's not like most girls.
she's not.
She's not. The only thing, because we're talking about the Charlotte and the figure eight and stuff, the only thing that bothered me about that match was every single time Charlotte would take a bump and it was like they'd start counting, she was holding her back and sitting up the entire time. I was like, I just need you to sell one like it genuinely knocked you out. Just give me one of you not overreacting to something.
But I agree. I actually really liked the Battle Royal. I liked Zelina Vega being the
pick.
sneaky little heel.
Yeah.
I win.
I popped so hard when she came back in.
But you knew she was about to get demolished.
I thought she was going to push him and win, and then when
There's
she didn't, I was like, here
no
we go.
fucking chance that she was going to win that match.
It would have been a great story with her and Andrade if she had won, and then like she was still Andrade's manager.
I like Zelina Vega. She plays that sneaky.
No,
she's like a Maurice, like completely knockout gorgeous,
but
shit,
way better
like-
at wrestling than Maurice.
Yeah,
And on the mic and the way she is with Andrade, she reminds me of the red alien from Space Jam. The hype man, the one that was just talking shit the whole time.
It's funny because you can tell that Andrade
fucking nerd.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Andrade is very much like English is not my first language.
Yeah.
And when he cuts a promo, it's very broken sometimes. And she's there to kind of be the hype man. If she wasn't good at talking, I do not think either of them would be where they are.
No,
I love his entrance.
Because his wrestling is top notch. He is one of the best
he's super
luchador
good.
wrestlers in the world. But as soon as he starts talking, it's just like, yeah, it's fun. It's the same. You know,
And I love that he does the Tranquillo, but does it just slightly enough different than Naito, where he's not like, we don't have to listen to people going, he's too sweeting. Like, it's...
that's his thing.
It is his thing, but you know how people
Yeah.
are.
Now, who did it first, though?
He did. He started...
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Los Ingobernables.
Thank you. I can never pronounce that correctly the first time.
I actually
Didn't know that. He was in New Japan?
no.
Oh,
No.
he was in the original in
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
and then
gotcha.
and then Naito came over and joined, and then when Naito went back to
He
Japan,
he formed the Japan
LIJ,
version.
yeah.
You know that's where Naito's eye thing came from? You know where he extends his eye
Yeah.
out? So the Mexican fans would do that to him as like a racist thing.
That's
And so
funny.
He started doing it, and then he just kept it.
That's kind of funny. I think it's kind of not cool, but it's
No,
funny.
but he did it as like a fuck you, and then he just
Yep.
kept it.
So, overall, I thought Evolution was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that show. So
I still don't like Shayna Baszler.
I don't either.
No.
She does.
Nope.
She doesn't do it for me.
You don't need her. You have.
I actually didn't watch that match.
I watched some of it.
I watched
like,
it. It was a fine match. Like honestly, there was nothing wrong with the match. I just don't like her.
She there's so many other women on the roster who do what she does. Like Sonya Deville on the main roster.
Sonya Deville's great. I love Sonya Deville.
She does. They have the same character. It's the same exact character. I'm a tough MMA chick who's not Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
But Sonya Deville can actually
She can go.
And she sells. She like when she got eliminated in the Battle Royal, and she's like, "What? You know, like she really sold it well." I with Shayna's two little friends. It's almost like they're like, so there's the four horsemen. There's the three of them and Ronda, and like Ronda's already in the main roster. Ronda's already champion. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And like,
right, we don't need.
And
those
they were
other
like,
two.
Right.
they looked at the three of them and went, who's the most marketable? Who are we going to make the leader of the rejects? Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
You've got the one chick who's like 7'2" and maybe weighs 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yep.
give
me them versus the Riot Squad, and then I'm good.
Yeah, let the Riot Squad whoop their asses, and then
I really like the Riot Squad.
I do too.
I didn't at first, and they're really growing.
Ruby
Oh,
Riot
God.
is brilliant.
Yes.
Liv Morgan is growing on
I
me.
love Liv Morgan.
I really didn't like her at first, but like now that her character legitimately is just I'm a brat.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like
When she does that headlock spot where she jumps on top of him and just starts screaming,
Yeah.
like I love it.
She's the baby.
Sarah
spice of the
Logan.
group.
Exactly.
When Hanson and Rowe hit the main roster, if you do not put Sarah Logan with them, you are wrong. I'm sorry, Vince, but you are wrong. Send her back to NXT. Just put her with them. Let them be the Vikings. Let them just run the train on every roster.
Can we just have Hanson and Rowe join the Riot Squad? Is that a thing that could happen?
I
the war the war rioters or something like that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, that would be the first time that I can remember that there is
The Riot Raiders.
a full, like, a female faction
That has
with
dudes
male
in it.
members in it. Like, there's plenty of factions with female members, like Titus Worldwide. It's not Dana Brooke Worldwide. Who, yes, Dana Brooke's awesome.
She's also the best out of that group.
Yeah.
Like by leaps and bounds.
And it's not Apollo's fault because I think Apollo actually has potential.
No, Apollo's a fantastic wrestler who has been buried repeatedly.
He still wrestles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then. But it's like main event, like superstars and shit like that.
They also like had him going neck and neck with Cedric Alexander, where I feel like people confuse them. I don't know why. I just see that a lot.
Apollo Crews is fucking like twice the size
I know.
of him.
I know, but I see it all the time.
Huh.
I think that the Riot Squad is just an absolutely brilliant faction.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I love them.
What was Paige's one called? With Mandy Rose?
Absolution.
Absolution.
Once again, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are great. I really love both of them. I think
They're
doing a great
legitimate
job.
real life best friends.
And it's funny because of Mandy Rose, Corey Graves has become the new Jerry the King Lawler. Because every time she comes, he's like, "Oh yeah, Mandy Rose, that's my girl."
I love how they
crazy hot though.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm
her
not taking.
entrance is so cool when they do like the slow down camera and everything. I love
Well,
it.
she's the female Gold Dust.
Yeah.
almost. I think they should slap some makeup on her and
Dude,
let her be the female Gold Dust. I think it'd be
And
brilliant.
when they were the tag team, like
Yeah.
that was great.
If she won and he came out to congratulate her for winning the Rumble, I would have lost my mind.
He's got to be.
Walking again.
He's definitely walking again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Him and his wife had good makeup for Halloween.
I wonder why. He's
Yeah.
been doing it for 30
Yeah.
years.
Dude, I love how he just like he'll put it on and if it doesn't get smudged, he'll just like stay in it.
Uh-huh.
And
Well, I mean, you got to
He's
think.
doing conventions now. That might be the first time I ever go to a convention is to see him.
You got to think too. You know, you put that makeup on the beginning of the night. You have your match. You don't know. There might be an incident where they're like, "We need you again," and what
Right.
are you gonna do? Give me 45 minutes to put my makeup back
Right,
on.
right.
You're just gonna wear that the whole
well,
night.
no. Like he'll leave the arena and
Oh,
go
yeah.
to the hotel. Like
Have you played more of the career mode yet?
No, dude. We just talked about how many games I have
I
right
know.
now. I'm fucked.
give me 2K19.
Fuck off. Don't have kids. Spend money.
Damn it.
Yeah. It's what I did.
Do what I do. Just ignore your responsibilities.
Yeah. But I think it's time to say goodnight and good luck.
Okay,
Oh,
we
shit,
flew through
it's-
that.
Been
Yeah.
an hour and 7
Over
minutes.
an hour, yeah.
Damn.
So I think it was fun, and I think
this was
Evolution
fun.
was great. I think Beyond was great.
Mike Aaron, I'm sorry that I said I hate you on Twitter.
Dude,
didn't
why'd you
mean
say
it.
that to Mike?
I just wanted to use a GIF. It was really cool.
Mike's a cool guy.
yeah.
He sometimes wears pants at work.
Sometimes.
There you go, Mike. That's for you, buddy.
Yeah, just a little.
Mike's pants talk.
And
Hail Satan slap nuts.
Go yourself.
Gotta get everything in there.
God damn
Shucky
it,
ducky quack quack.
fucker.